principal here at Chattanooga Valley. Most of you I do know, few new faces. I really appreciate y'all coming here tonight. Not as big of a turnout as I'd like to see, but I think if you knew me from, knew how I was, let me back that up a little bit. When I was trying it for the position of principal, one of the things I wanted to do, and one of the kind of platform that I kind of went on was I'm wanting to build some community involvement and relationships between other schools, family members, businesses. I want to get everybody involved so we can get some of these meetings a little more, people are a little more involved in them. But I really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. What we have is going to be relatively short. It's not too in-depth. But anytime you have a question, there's not many of us here, so just yell out, raise your hand, whatever, and we'll try to answer the questions. This is Miss Barton. She's one of my assistant principals. My other one is Scott Sizemore. He could not be here tonight, but if you have any questions anytime, not just tonight, but anytime, just call us. We're always here. I've been here for about 12 hours so far today, so we're here quite a bit. So don't mind answering any questions at all. So if does anybody have anything before we get started? Good to go? Good to go. All right. Obviously the reason we're here tonight is for Title I, parent involvement. What is a Title I school? A school that receives federal funding to ensure all students obtain a high quality education. All students. Sometimes we have some students that may have a little more chance, I guess you would say, of getting a good education. We want everybody on equal playing field here. The main focus of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, or ESEA, is parental notification and involvement. That's why you're here tonight. We want you involved as much as we can. And I think probably you may have been notified by the school probably a little more than you have in the past, and that has to do with some of the things that have been put in place by the county. It's just so that we make sure you are informed of what's going on. We're not trying to be overbearing or anything. We're just trying to keep you informed. How does our school spend Title I? This year I was given $155,135 for Title I. Out of that, I spent $55,000 and some change to try to. I actually hired another teacher to try to reduce class size. That to me is pretty important. If the classes are smaller, obviously the teachers can spend a little more time, so they can be a little more focused on the students. Parent involvement. That's Ms. Shepard standing right over here. Does a great job keeping us connected. And then the balance, $40,376. So far, right now, I have spent $40,376 of the Title I funds. That's the balance. I spent every penny. I have bought it's listed there. Calculators, computers, instruction, projectors, and various supplies. I can't remember the exact count, somewhere around 30 more computers for this year is on the list to be coming in. The projectors are in each classroom, particularly this year science and math. You'll see here in a minute that we're focusing more on those. And instruction, we're sending teachers, math and science teachers, to special trainings. They will then share that same information to the rest of the staff. So, any questions about that right now?
Can you buy me one? I want a computer.
You want a computer?
I do want a computer.
Okay. Well,
unfortunately, we don't get to be like Oprah. I wish.
Yeah.
You get a computer.
Yeah,
look under your chair.
Special, that's the one we need to go on.
Oh, Oprah, come on.
I was going to say something else. Oh, there is also an adjustment that we will get sometime about November or December. They will let me know if I get a little more money. It's not a great deal of money, maybe a few thousand, but I pretty much guarantee you I will spend it. I will find something of importance that we need here at school. How does our school participate in Title I program? 74% of our students here at this school are on free and reduced lunch. Our Title I funds are used to benefit all students rather than a few targeted students. We want everyone to benefit from it, obviously. I mean, we don't want to isolate anyone or exclude anyone. Title I school-wide requirements address the needs of all students, but particularly low-achieving students. Instruction by highly qualified teachers. Some of you, if you have a 6th grade student, may have received a letter here a while back saying that we have a substitute teacher that is not highly qualified. Let me explain that. Walker County is 100% highly qualified with all teachers. An impressive achievement. We have one long-term sub here right now. She is not highly qualified, but she was a certified teacher. So that's why we sent out the information. We had a teacher, that particular teacher will be back Monday. She was out for maternity leave. So I do have another teacher that will be going on maternity leave coming up pretty soon. The teacher, I believe, that will be in her place is a highly qualified teacher. She's recently retired. Let's see, where did I get to? Professional learning for all teachers. That goes back to what I was talking about. We're sending some teachers to be trained, and they return and redeliver that information. We're also giving professional learning in-house as much as we can. We bring in somebody from the county that may come in and be able to teach our teachers a better way of doing things. We try to take advantage of that. Increased parental involvement. That's why you're here. We're trying to get parents involved in the school. I think that's important. Y'all are sending us your kids. You need to be involved. I wish this place was packed tonight. And hopefully over time, this is my first year as principal here. Hopefully over time we will see a growth in the participation from the parents. And I really, really do appreciate y'all being here tonight. This next one, include teachers in academic assessment. I don't really know why that's up there. Our teachers do pretty much all the academic assessments. And then provide activities to help low-achieving students master standards. We are working on standards mastery basis, standards-based grading. So, obviously, we want to be able to do that. What is our school's designation status? We are a reward school, and I'm very proud of this. This is my first year as principal here, but I've been here, this is my 11th year. So I at least got to participate in some of this stuff. Highest performance for all student groups over the last 3 years. 5% Title I school, and in 2013-14, the 2013-14 year, CVMS was the only reward school designated in Walker County. Pretty impressive. And then last year, Title I reward school, highest performing reward school. Very proud of that. We've got big metal signs that we've put out. We've got posters hanging up. So, get the good word out. Hopefully, this year, next year, the year after, we're going to continue that and, maybe set records or something. All right. School-wide goals. In 14-15, if you'll notice, the 14-15 year, it's improved 8th grade science test scores and improved 8th grade math scores, especially among special education students. We brought that down just a little bit tighter. Looking at the CCRPI information, certain areas were flagged, literally flagged. When we get a report, they have a flag, whether it's red, yellow, or green, and we had some red flags. Increase the number of black and multiracial students meeting science standards. That means that particular group of students were a little low in the science standards. And increase the number of multiracial students meeting math standards. Really very similar to the year before, just focused a little more on certain groups. Let me say this too. All of that money that I spent on the overhead projectors, the training, all of that the Title I funds are focusing on math and science. Okay? Make sure you understand that. Now, at this point, I'm through talking. I want to turn it over to Miss Martin.
Okay, Okay, so what do we do to support those students through Title I? What do we do to support all of our students? Well, here are a few ways. We have what we call inclusion classrooms, okay? They're also called co-teaching, and basically that means that you have two teachers in that classroom. So at any point when a student needs something, they have two resources there to call on for some help. We also have a math remediation course. So specifically our students who have been struggling for several years in the area of math, they can be put in this connection type class that's every other day. So it's supporting standards, but they can go back and work on things that they may have missed in 4th, 5th grade to get them where they need to be today. Okay? Our Renaissance program, I'm super excited about this. This is brand new. We've had it at Ridgeland has had it for years, so our students who move on there have been experiencing it. Rossville has had it, and I'm super excited that our kids are going to get to do this program. But basically, it is a quarterly program that looks at student achievement as far as their grades and their citizenship. Okay, so basically, there are 3 different levels. Okay, so we have Eagle level, which is like top notch. Okay, that's all A's and all S's or E's, so satisfactory or excellence in citizenship. Citizenship looks at those things that are what we would call soft skills in the workplace. Do you show up on time? Do you bring your materials to work? Those sort of things to get them ready for their work life. Okay, and then we have a rubric from the standards-based grading handbook. That's how teachers determine where your students are at. Okay, so there's a whole rubric that looks at work completion, preparation, participation. So you can't just sit there quietly either. You know, are you answering questions? Are you working with your group? So teachers are looking at this and then putting that in to, you should see it on your progress reports. Okay, you should see it when you look up their grades. It should be there. Okay. So if you're seeing ends, that means needs improvement. So you need to say, hey, what area needs to be improved? Have your students say, what can I do? Because I want all of you to be a part of Renaissance. Okay? So Eagle level was all A's and S's and E's. Maroon level is A's and B's, and then all S's and E's. And then white level is A, B's, C's, and all S's and E's in citizenship. Do you have any questions about that? I just kind of rambled through it. So,
Do they,
Yep.
how often do they do this? Is it
it's a quarterly idea. That's what we hope to. It's our first year getting off the ground. So our first reward day, we were looking at doing it after that first progress report, which is in October. So October 16th is kind of that point where your student needs to make sure all their reassessments that they need to get done so far and all those things are in by that progress report. We're going to use that kind of as a cutoff. As far as looking at a picture, because, you know, we have year-long grades, so we had to find a spot to call it, you know. And then at that point, if they're at one of these levels, within that next week, they're going to get a Renaissance card that has their picture on it, and it hole punches which level they're at, Eagle, Maroon, or White. They can take it to some area businesses, and we'll give you a list of those to get discounts. So like Sonic and stuff like that in Chickamauga, we'll give you discounts. You can also use it if you're in the Eagle level to get into games for free, home games. So any football, basketball, anything like that. And we're going to do reward events every quarter. So if you make one of these levels in October, we're hoping to do an event the next week, probably with like inflatables or something like that. That's what we're hoping, okay? So we're still trying to follow up on that. But there will be events each time. And we're also looking at doing a year-long event. If you've been in Eagle level all year, at doing a special trip for those students at the very end of the year, okay? So those are some of the ideas we have. If you have ideas about that, if you know businesses who want to donate things to these students, we'll do all kinds of stuff with them if we have the material. So we're working out the details of Renaissance right now. Yes,
Or if you
ma'am.
want to write a check, that's fine
ISS
too.
or OSS, does that mean you can't participate?
Well, ISS or OSS means that you cannot make it for that quarter. So each one of these are for the quarter. So let's say your student has a D in the first quarter, that first progress report. That does not mean they're out for all year. The next quarter, they have another opportunity. Okay, so it doesn't take a full year-long look. It takes each quarter. So you can make that turnaround and get it the next quarter. Did I mention we're getting free t-shirts too? We got t-shirts for Renaissance too. Everybody loves a free t-shirt. So we'll have t-shirts and then reward events and then you can also go out and use your card. Okay? Any questions about Renaissance? Other questions? Okay. And then RTI. And RTI is response to intervention. So basically, if you have a student who is struggling and we have put things into place in the classroom, the regular ed teacher has tried some things and it's still not quite working, we're still lacking some skills, then we can start a process where we do some interventions. What else does that student need? Okay, so that's another way. Thank you, sir. All right, our curriculum. So basically in every course there is a curriculum sent to us by Georgia, state curriculum. And right now we have two different sets. The Georgia Performance Standards are for science and social studies. And right now they're looking at changing some of those in the next couple of years. They've sent out emails to educators, what do your students need, what are they lacking based on these standards. So they're continuing to hone in on science and social studies and what we could do to better develop those. And then we have Georgia Standards of Excellence, which are in English Language Arts, so reading and ELA, and then in math. All right. Here's all the fun our teachers have been having. Georgia Milestones. We're still waiting on those results, right? So the assessments that your child will have through the year, you have a pre-SLO. I'm going to go ahead and skip down here, kind of go in the order of their year. They've already had that pre-SLO, and basically we don't expect them to score very high on that. That is an outlook for what the year will be. So it's to let those teachers know the growth of your students. So they give you that test in the first couple of weeks, the student takes it, and they probably look at you like, Mom, I just failed that. Well, that's kind of the way it's supposed to happen because you haven't been taught that material yet. But it does show a teacher, a student who may have some areas where they're really high in their achievement already, so they know which students need what. Okay? So they take that pre-SLO, and SLO stands for Student Learning Objectives. So it outlines those standards and what your student knows about those. And then at the end of the year, they will take a post, and each teacher will get an idea of the growth of that student through the year. Okay? So it tells them about their instruction throughout the year. Milestones will come in the spring, and basically you all have been used to hearing CRCT for a long time now. No longer CRCT, it's milestones. With that, I want you to know there will be a shift in scores, okay? Because CRCT looked at minimum competency. Do they know the minimum amount of these standards? Now, Milestone takes a different look. It says, what have they mastered in the standards? So you can see that there's going to be some discrepancy there in scores. We're hoping, though, that it gives us a better outlook of what our Georgia students know compared to everybody else in the nation. Because right now, what we see when we get those reports back from testing companies, I don't know if you've heard of NAEP, N-A-E-P, but basically it's a nationalized test, and we are scoring very low compared to those. Okay, so we're trying to figure out what are we missing with our testing and our assessments. What is it really telling us about our students? So we're hoping that the milestones will give us a better look at what our students truly know about standards. Proficiency levels with CRCT, you guys got does not meet, meets, or exceeds. Okay, the language will be a little different. We're hoping to get milestone scores in October. We'll see. I hope. Okay, so you could get beginning learners. You could get developing learners, proficient learners, or distinguished learners. So that kind of goes up the scale of what we know. So there's 4 levels rather than 3. Okay? Any questions about milestones?
I come from a Tennessee school system,
Yes.
so we just moved
TCAP.
here. Yes, so
Yes.
that's the difference. Okay,
Yes.
that's what you're comparing. to.
Yes, yes. Let's see. So basically, milestones are more looking at growth, and the same thing with SLOs. It's all about growth. We want to take the students and see how they're moving forward from year to year. Okay? That's all I have. It's you.
I'm trying to get up here to
You're fine.
show them what those are. I don't want to go in
You like a spotlight?
It is, it's awesome. I'm Leslie Shepard. I'm the Parent Involvement Coordinator. And so I'm going to talk to you about Title I stuff. This is the stuff that we're required to talk about. So we've got the district. If you picked up the papers, this is the district, Walker County's parental involvement policy. This one is our school's parent involvement policy. And this is our compact, and this is new this year. You might want to open it up and look. We list the district goals and our school goals, which he already went over. But then this year we have like specific areas we're going to focus on in each grade. Like 6th grade is going to be adding and subtracting fractions, decimals, and percent problems. 7th grade is going to be multiplying and dividing fractions, decimals, and percent problems. And then in 8th grade, it's more of a science/math focus. We're going to examine matter and the physical and chemical changes that can occur. So, I need to breathe. I'm not used to talking in front of people. A lot of people. And I guess this isn't really a lot of people, but anyway. So then as a school, these are the things that we will provide. And then as parents, we would like you to help us provide those things. And then students will also follow along in the same way. So some of the things that we are, let me go see what's next here. Oh, I guess it wasn't my turn yet. He already went through this, that 100% of our teachers and parapros are highly qualified. I think this one got moved. Huh. Okay, well, I'll still talk about this, it's fine, I know this. This just means, the first part, what is the intra-district transfer option for ESOL? That is that you can send your child to any any school in Walker County that the principal will let you in, and there's enough room, and you provide transportation.
It's also been called school choice, so you may have heard of it as school
Yes,
choice.
yes, yes. So you can go to Walker County School's website or call them for more information. Okay, this is me. I don't know where that slide came from. This is my budget. Is much smaller than Mr. Breed's, but what I use the money for is workshops. This year we're going to have a science and math night by the Creative Discovery Museum, and it'll be a parent and student together. You like do the little things together. And we're also going to do a modern math overview because we're having several teachers, math teachers, going to like a course or something in how to teach modern math to. So we'll give that information to you guys. It'll help you a lot understanding even just the basic vocabulary of math is different than when we went to school. It's like a foreign language, so it should help. I think those are the main two. We'll also have a Ready for Ridgeland transition at Ridgeland. So if your child's in 8th grade or even younger and you want to go see what they have at Ridgeland, you'll be welcome to come to that. Also, we provide refreshments, childcare if anybody asks for it for younger children during meetings, transportation if anybody needed it, all the paper that I buy to send flyers home. Then we do have books and videos in the library here if you ever want to check out a game or a video or anything like that. And then technology. I didn't buy any technology this year, but last year I bought a new computer. So we do have computers that you guys can use if you ever want to come in. If you don't have a computer at home or access to the internet, you can come in here and use these computers or come to my room, 602, and use mine. And these are our opportunities for parent engagement. And I guess I talked a little bit about that. But open house, I think I saw a lot of you guys at open house. And the books and videos and games, media center computers, our website, and then the rest of the things I already spoke about. And then you probably came to the transition to middle school meetings that we held last year. And then volunteer opportunities, PTO. If anyone would like to help with PTO, we would really appreciate that. The PTO is trying this year to help fund, we always do Teacher Appreciation Week. We try to appreciate how much these teachers really care about our kids. They do a lot for these kids. So we try to have a special week where we, just do special things for them. And also the Renaissance program. We're trying to help raise funds to help fund that, help the events that they want to, all that stuff's not free. Somebody's got to pay for it. So PTO is trying to help with that. We could also use help in the media center sometimes. Thank you. Miss Mason could use some help sometimes. We did the movie Friday evening, and we'll do those again, the after-school movies. We could always use parents to come sit in the movie with me, because it's me and like 100 kids, so if you could ever come do that, or concessions. They sell popcorn and pizza, and, well, maybe I might sell pizza again, but kind of stuff like that. Also, reading with students, we do have some students that are still, they struggle to read, even at 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and they just need an adult that will come in and sit with them and listen to them read and just help them. So if
How
you have,
often? How often?
just
As
it's up
often
to
as
you.
you like. Call me and set up sometimes, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And vocabulary word review. I'm sure that would be science. Just about any class could use that.
Oh, definitely, yes.
And making copies, or just if you're like able to come one day a week, generally, or you know, that would be good. The teachers would know somebody was coming that could help. You know, I know somebody's coming this week, so I'm not going to print this test. I'll ask somebody else to make the copies for me. And these are the decision-making opportunities that we have at CVMS. We have this, our annual meeting, and we will have an end-of-the-year meeting that will involve the budget development, the parent-school compact, that's this thing, and the school policy, this document. Also, Mr. Breeden has a school council, and then we have an annual survey.
What's the workshop planning?
That would also be just what we're going to do the next year. Just kind of
Work in terms of workshops?
like, yes, what do you think would be good? We would provide, like at the meeting, we would talk about what the goals were.
For the children or for
Parents and
children?
children.
So like this year, we're doing the Creative Discovery Museum, so like planning some of those things a year
Yeah,
out.
what you think would be a good thing to, or
One
that
year
would,
we had, what is that group that came in that did it first?
First things
First
first?
things first.
They
Yeah,
did
they
some
did a
stuff for us.
parent strategies to help with teenagers.
Well, the science last year.
there's certain things that Title I will not allow us to pay for, like things that are not specifically designed to educate parents on how to help their children learn, Title I will not pay for. So that, we didn't pay for it.
Right,
That we
that
could
was
hold
free.
that, it was free, but, yeah.
Does that mean the PTO has to pay for it?
No, see, a lot of times people just do it, like programs will. How responsive will school staff be to my questions when contacted?
Very.
Yeah. They are very responsive. You can come in anytime. Mrs. Floyd or Mrs. Whittington, they can answer pretty much all of your questions. Mr. Breeden, I think, has
I have an open door
door
policy. You're welcome to walk in anytime.
And one
If you see me running out the back door, though, don't take any offense.
And one big difference from elementary school to middle school is we do not set up parent-teacher conferences. You know, they do that in elementary school twice a year. If you want a parent-teacher conference, call the school, and they will set it up. Because you have so many teachers, they would have to organize all the teachers.
They're actually doing that ATTP.
At the elementary school.
Yes.
I imagine that might be coming here one day.
Well, I
That's really
actually
good.
Yeah.
participated for the very first time, and I've got one that just has went through all this and started college. And I actually liked it a lot better.
I think it probably is. It's very, you get a lot of information.
You do, but everybody gets it, and it's not so like you're at the principal's office. Your kid didn't get this, you know, or your kid's the best one.
You
know,
mean
it's-
that
it's
instead of a
general.
parent-teacher conference? Is that what you mean?
Instead of.
Instead
yes,
of, yes.
Yes, you got informed of what we're doing, this is what we need help with, and it just kind of, it wasn't like your kid didn't know anything, because there were several in there that were like, my kid's not on this list, it's not doing this. It's okay, we're all gonna help, and it was just, I liked it a lot better,
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a really good program,
it's
too.
quicker.
What is the program?
It's APTT.
It is, APTT.
And they give your kid a number, so when you get the chart to see your progress of your
Right.
child,
Tell everybody.
they can't say,
Name's not
oh,
on.
your child's
Yeah.
name's on there, look how they did.
Right.
Only you know your only child and what they've
You
done.
know the number.
But what does that stand for? It's an
I can't
acronym.
remember.
Parent teacher team, academic parent teacher team.
Thank you.
But it's like an event?
Yes, it's
It's-
4 times a year, and they're bringing the parents in with the teachers, and you're setting a goal for your child, and they're giving them you manipulatives to meet that goal, and then you'll re-meet and see if they've met the goal, and then you'll make a new goal for your child based on where they're at.
Everybody.
And
in
each
that
grade
class.
chose something different. Fifth chose math. Some of the other ones, they chose math though, Fifth did over Center Valley. So they sent home a package that let your child play a game. And they play the game, they know they're learning, but they don't mind doing that because you're not sitting in front of them going, do this, do that, do this, you know. And you play a game with them, see who can win, you or them, it's you and them playing. It's really a good program. Each grade has different kinds of games. I don't know about the other grades, but
For kindergarten, he's reading. I mean, it is a huge difference just from my 18-year-old, when she started kindergarten over there. She's 14. She struggled. They stopped the phonics system. Now we've got the phonics system back in place, and he's reading in kindergarten. The first couple weeks of kindergarten, he's reading, and it's shocking what a big difference. And like I say, we all went in there, everybody in this class went in, and it was just, everybody asked questions kind of like we are right here. It wasn't overcrowded, you didn't feel rushed, the teacher had time, and it was just, this is what we're doing. It was great, really.
is it something the middle school would be interested in, or is this just something based in elementary?
I don't know. I mean, it could probably go anywhere. I know that we talked about it at the parent.
It
It's a parent involvement
It
thing.
is
It's
really,
just
it's really a good program, especially if you know your child's, struggling, or if you think they're doing better than what they are, and then you get that result, or you see where they're doing better at than the other.
And the poor teacher got it all right at one time.
Not every time.
I got 30 minutes left. I gotta get somebody the next one.
Yes, it's a really good program for students.
That's pretty much everything we have to present tonight. Does anyone have any questions or concerns that may need to be brought up? Yes, ma'am.
Why do y'all call the Renaissance the Renaissance?
Why do we call the Renaissance? See that lady right over there?
She would know the
I
answer to
looked up
that.
what Renaissance means.
There you go.
That's a good
His
answer.
name comes from that.
Anything to
And the
help
past
increase.
story, I'm not gonna give you an answer. But you can come see me and find out what it is about it.
Is that you to do that like at the beginning of the year, like y'all send out like a,
Our school? Our school should be something you can look up anytime you want.
but usually they have like, I know sometimes they give out the code.
Oh, if you need the code, just call us and we'll get it for you tomorrow. That is
Yeah,
no
they send
problem.
them home in that beginning packet, but if you missed it there, then we can get you another
Yeah,
copy.
that's no problem. Talk to
I think so.
Miss Floyd and she'll print it off, take about 10 seconds.
So I'm like, what's your code?
Yeah, and you can have it right there in front of you.
I'm like, what's your code?
I also really like this, the teachers have a lot of time to get these extra websites.
The teachers have worked really good, really hard on creating their own class websites. Not all of them, but several of them, and they are fantastic.
Yes, they are, and the text is great.
I would like to do it because it would meet all.
Yeah, it's back and forth, and it's safe also. I mean, as far as that goes, it's very safe. But if you have a chance, now some of your students may not have those particular teachers. 7th grade science has some really good ones. Trying to remember who all does. Remember, Cleghorn's got a really good one. Baker's got a good one. And it's information that you can pull right straight off of it for tomorrow's lesson.
So I noticed some of his teachers put stuff on Quizlet, but some of them don't.
It's teacher's choice.
Teacher's choice. It's good. It's because it's good.
It's very good.
I
Yeah.
get the little thing, new thing on Quizlet.
All right. There's still a little bit of food. Help yourself to some stuff over here in the book fair. I gotta take this phone.
And I'm selling raffle tickets for $1 for a 32-inch TV for Renaissance. So if you have $1 and want it on a 32-inch TV, we'll be doing it until November because we don't want you to have to stand in line and fight for a TV over Thanksgiving. So just win out.
I
Okay?
want to do television. My television's please. It's only as big as two of these computers combined. That's not that big. That would be I work.